Let's revisit the Super Bowl halftime protester during Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. At first, many thought it was someone who ran on the field, but that was not the case. It turns out Zul-Qarnain Nantambu was tasked with being a performer during Kendrick Lamar's heavily discussed show that has made waves with a ton of football fans, and I mean tons. And also, fans of music in general. Nantambu took the opportunity to raise a stitched flag showing the colors of Sudan and Palestine together. He would write on it as well, which read, Sudan and Gaza. He would be chased by one member of the crew, but escapes. From there, he held the flag up with both hands and did laps from one side to another. Eventually, security would swarm him, take him to the ground, and appear to carry him out on all fours. There were two very powerful organizations that made it a point to distance themselves from him as quickly as possible, that being the National Football League and Jay-Z's Rock Nation. In the aftermath, many wondered who this individual was. Some speculated on a ton of different angles of the story, none with merit. And you know what? The man himself has broken his silence.
I felt I didn't have a choice because I was selected to be a part of the halftime show. And when I saw what my position was, it was a great stage, a large stage. And we know as a practicing Muslim, our Prophet Muhammad teaches us, if you see a wrongdoing, or you're aware of a wrongdoing, you must stop it with your hands. And if you can't stop it with your hands, stop it with your tongue. Speak out against it. And if you can't stop it with your tongue, try to stop it with your heart, meaning pray about it. And we know that's the weakest of faith. So I had an opportunity on a grand scale to bring awareness or speak out against a wrong of our Muslim brothers and sisters, because we know if one part of the body is hurting, all of the body is hurting. This ummah is one body. So I didn't want to face my creator and not with a sign of weak faith.
That is strong, beyond strong. More from Nantambu.
Humanitarian. I'm a humanitarian and I'm a Muslim. So we're spiritually connected in Islam, and we're connected with empathy for humanity, because we're all human beings, God's creation, and they're oppressed. And we know God answers the prayers of the oppressed. They are suffering. They're treated with injustice, and it's on a wide scale, and nobody is really giving it the light that it should get, at least working toward a change. And I wanted to show the solidarity to those afflicted by this and their families and loved ones, that they're being remembered here in America.
And when asked if he fears his career is over, this was his answer. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
To damage your career, are you worried you may find it difficult to get work again, given what happened?
I trust in God, brother. I wanted to pass that. I fear God more than I fear man. I fear loss of wealth. I fear loss of anything else. I fear losing the pleasure of Allah. And it was clear to me with the signs of the show that Kendrick had the American flag and human bodies. He had his PG Lang flags.
Lastly, Nantambu tells us of Kendrick's influence on him.
It wasn't a source of inspiration. I believe I was inspired by a creator, but he was confirmation. Seeing his show, when him talking about the revolution being televised, him having scenes where the American flag is made out of in a human formation, him having his own company's flags flying around. I saw those all as signs for me to incorporate the flag. Him having Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam. The whole theme being conscious, revolutionary, to make one's consciousness rise.
Actually, one more, because this was a bar from Nantambu. Nantambu would also give optimism for the future with the current president for his stances on Gaza, though I do not match that. I hope God shifts Trump's heart to be empathetic and compassionate to those who are suffering in Palestine and do what is right by the Palestinians. And if he can help the Sudanese, which I'm sure he can. Yeah, he can. He just won't. Especially, they gave the game away months back where Jared Kushner complimented the beachfront, waterfront property in Gaza. Trump has said that he wants to flatten it and turn it into, part of his real estate portfolio. I understand, saying like, I hope he has a change of heart. When has this man had a change of heart that helps people? That helps the less fortunate? It doesn't exist. He is proven to be out there for one person and one person only, and it's himself. He does not have an empathetic droplet of blood in his body. Now, when turning, to the film on his performance, I'm sure the NFL will find a way to try and use other camera angles to not have Nantambu in there, but it's going to be impossible unless they somehow Photoshop him out of a moving image. Because as we learned, his placement behind the GNX was perfection. We saw from the setup that it's like the embodiment of a PlayStation controller, according to Wired. And Nantambu was part of the Square group. And here's why it is also perfection and why it's the best of all, is because one of the bigger storylines was Serena Williams sea walking, right? And the fling that it appears they had years back around 2015 with Serena Williams and Drake. So she's out there sea walking, which she was ridiculed for during the 2012 Olympics, mainly by white people. And so she's doing that after she was crushed for it, and it's to Not Like Us. You know who was placed perfectly behind her in the distance? Nantambu. So I don't know how the NFL is going to try to do this and run away from this, but it appears they can't. He'd speak with the Daily Mail and state, I don't want to attribute any of that to Kendrick Lamar because he didn't know anything about it, meaning he takes the onus off of Kendrick, places it squarely on himself for his stance. He'd add, we live a life, of luxury in comparison to what they're going through. I wanted to show that we all are united and they are loved. They are loved here by believers. They are prayed for here by believers, and we're in solidarity and unity with them, praying for the betterment of that situation. Some feared the repercussions for Nantambu. However, the AP would report he will not be facing any charges. Again, I said this yesterday when we covered it. I will say it again. One of the most courageous stances I have ever seen. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.